All right.
He is too.
Underworld seems to really thrive on festival gigs. What do you think makes them so special for you?
The people come to them and they want to have a party, no matter what the weather is. I mean, this was proved like last year when we played on the other stage. It was up to your knees in mud, as you well know. But maybe those of you who are at home don't know this, but people were up to their knees in mud and there was like big squelching sounds that they were trying to dance. And people come to a festival to have a good time regardless, with no attitude. It's nice.
So how much of a jump is it from you doing the main stage from the year that you got banned for doing the experimental sound field?
Well, it's a very interesting jump. What happened at the experimental sound field was that there was a kind of a renegade sound system that were getting really heavy, and we had a lot of family with us, and we realised that we should get off the site before anybody of our party was heard. So we weren't exactly chucked off. We left for health and safety reasons. But that time when we were members of the experimental sound field was really important for forming what Underworld became. That was a blueprint for the band.
And so what does it feel like when you get on stage in front of a big crowd like that? What sort of buzz do you get?
If they like us, it feels great. If they don't like us, it's a bit weird. A bit weird at first.
And have you got any special treats in store for tonight?
Well, I really never know what's going to happen. We're improvising, as we always do. It'll be different because it's Glastonbury. It'll be different because this may well be like our last English date, for a long time. All these things will kind of be making it a little bit more emotional. And because we've been coming here for so long, the first gig that Rick and I ever played here was in 1983 with Fleur, and it's sort of a bit special. A lot of the people that were good to us and taught us a lot of things about the way we make music now were very formative in building things like the pyramid stage that used to be here. So Glastonbury conjures up memories of a lot of good people.
There have been some quite colourful descriptions of your dancing style and your showman style. Have you got any particular favourites you've come across?
Have I got any particular favourites? I try and forget them all. But a couple of the Supremes moves are, not some of my favourites. Maybe a bit of Four Tops.
And would you have any plans to broadcast a gig live on the web like the Beastie Boys did recently?
It's feasible. A lot of things are feasible. As most people on the Dirty site will know, we've been recording most of our shows for the last 12 months. We've filmed probably about 6 shows now, and most recently took out a mobile for a weekend and filmed the whole of the weekend shows. So we've got all this stuff. As to what's going to happen with it is anybody's guess. If it gets mixed and if it gets turned into something that turns us on, then we'll put it out. If it doesn't, then it'll end up like a lot of things.
How involved are you with your website?
We keep in touch with Scott. And Scott keeps us informed as to what he needs and how we can help expand the site. That's really important. When we were in LA last 2 times, we actually got together with Scott and Rick and he discussed things that we could do to build. Pretty important for us now to begin to build more thoroughly on the site. We've neglected it. We feel we've neglected it a lot, and because we've been touring, because we've been doing a lot of press and promotion, it's an exciting place for us because it's very immediate. Having our own studio, having our own TV facilities and tomatoes, it's kind of obvious now that we begin to extend what we do through the website.
And are you excited about the new possibilities for music on the net?
I'm excited about the possibilities for getting everything out that we do, because we make a lot of things, and it means that we don't have to go cap in hand to people, because there are already people there that are interested and will help us build something together.
And what was the last thing you heard that blew, sort of musically?
In a kind of intellectual sort of way, the intellectual conversation we had.
What was the last thing you heard musically that blew you away?
What was the last one?
What was the last thing you heard that blew you away?
The last thing I heard that blew me away? You caught me out there. The last thing I heard that blew me away, I'm going to try and think of something new. Last thing I heard that blew me away. I think what I was listening to on the way down, Rick's got this new CD out, that well, it's not out yet. But he's just finished a new CD, and that was pretty amazing. Yeah, just some of his difficult music that he's done for installations. It was fantastic listening to it on headphones coming down the motorway.
Okay, and then finally, what words would you...
Just really, wasn't it? Something that Rick did. He's paying me,
what words would you use to sum up the way that you feel now about Beaucoup Fish?
I'm very happy. I'm still happy with it. And I think it's the best album we've done. I'm glad because it's the third one. It's been a nice album to tour because all the tracks that we do off the album really make me smile. There are kind of odd tracks throughout the past two albums before that make me smile, but the stuff on Beaucoup Fish consistently does it, and I consistently keep forgetting how to do it right. So I heard a track the other day and went, oh my God, I'm doing it so wrong. 12 months on, improvising has rewritten all that stuff into not very good versions of better songs.
So what's been the best gig on the tour so far?
No best gig. Few real corkers, and some ones that are probably amazing that I missed. Sort of thing. Glasgow. Munich for me was special. Loads in America. All over.
When do you feel Underworld thrive on festival gigs? Because they seem to be the kind of big outdoor ones.
I love the outdoors. Thrive on playing outdoors. That's a passion. The sky over it. Glastonbury special, and a bit of a challenge. Not Glastonbury festivals like tonight. Where Mannix are after us, and who's before us? Is it Travis? Is it or something? I don't know. And I love the idea of being sandwiched between very unlike-minded music. It's great. Yeah, tonight's especially great because it's Mannix and they're mates and they're Welsh and they're lovely and they're also really great live. So it's one of the big reasons why we were thrilled to be doing this on this particular night.
When you walk on stage, when you're at an event like this, what kind of things go through your mind? What's it feel like?
I'm scared shitless, but that's like any gig, whether it's a festival or not. And I'm thinking, please God, let me be good tonight. Trying not to think about 1,000 other things that are probably happening at the same time. Strange people wandering up and asking me about my inside leg measurement and that. And just trying to focus, seriously, ready for that moment when we get on stage and I have to think what's the first tune we're going to do.
Are there any kind of particular set highlights which seem to be poking their heads out?
How do you mean? Set highlights?
Yeah, really
yeah, except that you've got to be careful, okay? So I could say, obviously Balls for B is always, ooh, hands in the air, good Lord, let's all talk to God. Cowgirl, there's King of Snake, Dark Train or New Train or whatever you choose to call it. Push, Jumbo. Yeah, well, there's quite a few, Funnily enough, this is sort of, it's quite a good question, really, because it's a thing that I feel that there's a direction that's been happening of late that's time to change, really. And that's a bit like everything we play is an anthem. Everything we play is kind of like a highlight, and that's interesting. But it feels a bit like Guns N' Roses or something. Do you know what I mean?
A bit too much, feeling like too much instant gratification.
Yeah. So that's kind of good because it makes me think and makes me go, well, let's get down and get dirty and get clubby again.
We're getting some of this apparently about 3,000 today on the website.
That's fantastic, isn't it? Absolutely. The website. See, I think the website's a few different things in a way. There's the dirty list. There's the dirty site, which are kind of, Scott takes care of the business and he's fantastic and marvellous. The dirty list is a very distinctly different thing, I feel, without getting into a long chat about that. The dirty site is a website, which is a website, and it looks nice and it's great, and Oh mate, it's so much making me speechless. This is a kind of this is a revolution that's happening in the world around us. You know, a communication revolution. And the dirty side is this tiny little spot that sits in the middle of it that makes me smile, you know, and fills me with hope for the future and the possibilities of independence and freedom of speech. You know, I mean, they're not jokes really, you know, because everything conspires to make something successful bland and reduce it to palatable, you know, understandable, boxable things. And Underworld has been quite successful in the past few years, and so it's eminently boxable and anthemable, makeable, you know. And so something like the dirty side, you know, without exaggeration, it really fills me with hope.
What kind of words would you use to sum up the way that the album makes you feel now, or how do you feel about it a few months down the line?
Beaucoup Fish. How it makes me feel now makes me feel like making another one.
And what else are you listening to at the moment?
In the car on the way in, I was listening to Noddy. You know Noddy, yeah. I know you know Noddy. Noddy, with the man in the red and yellow car, boom, 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 Noddy. The billion bells have visited the following on Toyland. The biggest and heavy and Mr. Pod, very special things. Yeah, you know, and that was nice. So I've been listening to a lot of that kind of thing recently.
More personal music.
Yes, I'm being very serious. Been listening to reggae a lot again recently, and not much else really. Right then, boys. Have a nice time. We're going to watch the Manic Street Preachers. Actually, that's the point. I won't be going straight away.
Yeah.
Because the Manics are on, so I'll check them out for a while.
Yeah.
So boo-doo at the side of the stage. Oh, you're rubbish. You play better. Change the guitars out the tune, boy.